And so, yeah, I might talk about a car. Okay, so I'm talking about the 2021 Ferrari SF90 Stradale.
Ooh, Stradale.
Okay, and so this is a pretty sick car. It shares its name with the SF90 Formula One car,
Yeah.
which was the 2019 F1 season Formula One car.
Yep.
And the 90 stands for, it was the 90th anniversary of the Scuderia Ferrari team.
Yeah. Cool.
SF90.
Yes.
In regards to lineup in
Yep.
the Ferrari world of cars,
Yeah.
it sits between the 812 Superfast,
Yeah.
which was pretty high up there.
Yeah.
We spotted one around here in the last month or two.
Is that the white one?
No, it's like
No.
a grey-looking one that was in the Lingard Hospital.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like-
Oh, that's right.
It's
yeah.
like at least 700 grand Australian, and with a few extras. And it sits between there and the LaFerrari, which is obviously top of the pile. So it's an impressive car, but the thing is it's not limited number. So it's never going to be collectible.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It is. It's a Ferrari, obviously. But it's not going to be of the caliber of a LaFerrari or F40 or F50 or anything like that. So price looks to be somewhere around 900 grand Australian without options and on-road costs, which I'm sure would increase that a fair bit.
Yeah, that's so much. So much for a non-collectible Ferrari.
It is a hybrid, so we'll talk about that. So it's designed by a guy named Flavio Menzoni, and he...
Good accent.
Thank you. He has basically designed most...
You've been to Italy, haven't you?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Can you tell?
Yeah. That's how I could tell. Sorry, yeah, continue.
He... I can't get over when people just stare at you with like an angry look on their face. What are those guys doing?
Were the people that are driving up, or are they still staring?
No, they're gone. It was a lady driving.
Oh, yeah.
She just lives there, I think.
Just beeping at you.
So he's designed a bunch of stuff like the F12. He's just was the co-designer on the LaFerrari
Yep.
and most other Ferraris. So the body style is it's a two-door sports coupe. Do you know what they call it? Do you know what the Italian word is? I feel like
Spider.
you know this.
Oh, not
No.
Spider. Oh, a two-door. What?
Starts
for a
with
two-door-
B.
Oh, are you talking about the stylist?
Yeah, so the style of the car. So it's a two-door sports coupe is what we call it in English. But what's the Italian word for that? Do you know?
Berlinetta?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sound you'd know that.
Oh, yeah.
well,
Thank you. Good quiz. I like it.
Good.
I had to dig through the memory archives.
And then they're going to make a two-door hardtop convertible version as well.
Yep.
But I haven't seen that out yet. So it's all-wheel drive. It's got a longitude. Do you know what longitudinal mid-engined means?
Yes. Yeah.
What's
Well,
that mean?
You can put me on the spot now. It means that instead of facing north-south, it faces east-west.
Yep.
It so yeah, the sideways engine.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's an interesting way to do it. It's a
It
front.
depends on which way you put the compass. Is it the opposite of what you just said? Wouldn't north-south be longitudinal?
Yeah, you'd think so.
Because wouldn't you put the compass as if you were looking down on the car with the
Yeah,
front?
yeah.
Anyway, we are on
No,
the
I
same
get
page.
I get what you're saying. Yeah,
I don't know. So yeah,
Yeah,
anyway, it runs with the length
yeah. I
of the
remember
car.
it with because flatitude is latitude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, that doesn't make sense, but yeah. Anyway,
So longitudinal.
all good.
Whoa. It's got a little bit wet. Sorry.
The neighbours just getting angry at us.
So it's got a longitudinal mid-engine 4-litre twin-turbo V8. So it's the same engine as the 488 Pista, which is an insane-looking car. I always loved the 488.
Yeah.
And then when they came out with the Pista,
Yeah.
it's just shockingly good.
Yeah.
800 horsepower.
Yeah.
Pretty significant. And we're just talking from the engine here.
Yeah.
And the engine's mounted really low. So if you look into the to the back of the car, if you open the engine lid, the engine's not just sitting there. You see
Yeah.
some
So is that part of the advantage of doing it sideways?
no, well, it's not sideways though.
Oh, it's not sideways.
It's longitudinal.
All right. Sorry, I thought we were talking about. What is that? Not normal?
Yeah, it's normal.
Oh, okay.
We were just talking about it. Well, it's not normal.
Right.
It's not normal for a Corolla,
Yeah.
and it's not normal for a MR2.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Back to what you were saying.
So the engine's mounted really low. So if you see
Yeah.
a Audi R8, for example, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
the one that I can remember, or even a Gallardo,
Yeah.
if you kind of standing behind the car, you can see the engine's kind of sticking out, and you can through the glass engine lid.
Yeah.
In this particular car, even if you open the lid, it's like way down in the guts of the car,
Oh, that's all right. Yeah, never mind.
which is which is which is really cool actually because
That was no, like made this weird eye contact, and then I like realized who it was after. I like always good with the ladies. Anyway,
awesome.
sorry, I'll cut that bit out.
Yeah.
I'll cut that out of our live recording.
Yeah, perfect. Yes.
we need a bleep button for our
10-second delay. You can bleep
10-second delay. Yeah.
Okay, so so it lowers the center of gravity.
Yeah.
Obviously makes the car feel better.
Yeah.
So it's got 3 electric motors.
Wow.
One is on the rear, just on the transmission.
Yeah.
And then the other 2 are on the front wheels. And do you want to guess the range? Here we go. This will be good.
Oh, is this petrol and
Yes,
electric?
That's a hybrid. Guess the range of just the
Just the electric
the
stuff.
electric motor.
I'm gonna guess that. Well, there's 3 of them, so it's not like that silly McLaren which only did 10. Sorry, it's not like that really cool McLaren that only did 10.
No, I'm implying that it's not far from it.
Oh, okay. So all right, just on electric, I'm gonna say that it does. Is it in miles or kilometers?
Kilometers.
I'm gonna say it's 40 kilometers.
26.
26. Oh, rough.
But it increases by 200 horsepower. So total horsepower is 1,000.
Yeah.
Which is pretty awesome.
But the whole idea is that they can continuously. It doesn't need to have range on the batteries.
Yeah.
Because it's just continuously charging anyway.
Correct.
And it's just to add power.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. 8-speed dual clutch transmission.
Yeah.
That 1,600 kilos is the standard Berlinetta.
Yeah.
And 0 to 100, have a guess.
Oh, 2.1.
2.5.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Yeah, decent.
Not EV range, but pretty good.
Yeah.
It does outperform the LaFerrari.
Yeah.
Just,
that's cool.
Out of interest.
LaFerrari.
A couple of interesting facts. The key for it is like a leather rectangle key with 2 buttons on it.
Yeah.
No significance, but it doesn't have any kind of loop function. So what I mean, like it doesn't have like a little metal loop on it or a little divot to put a loop in.
Yeah.
Because what they say is like this shouldn't be a key that sits on your key rings. This should be a key that sits by itself for special occasions.
Yeah. Okay.
So
cool.
it's not able to be put on a key ring.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny.
That's a very Ferrari thing.
Yeah. Has electronic door releases. So when you open the door, you actually push down like this on the door when you're outside. There's like a little handle. You push down on it and it unclicks, pops open, and you can pull it out.
Yeah,
on the inside,
cool.
you can press a button. Same thing. I think it's cool, but I don't know what happens when it has no power.
Yeah, that's always a concern, I guess. But
Yeah.
I guess it gets less and less of a concern as you obviously go through time, like more new cars.
Right.
Like as cars
Yes.
get newer and newer, it's less of a worry.
It's more of a common feature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas if you had that car in 2005,
Yes. That's
it's
that's the only
definitely
thing you'd
gonna
be worried about.
it's definitely going to break, and
Yeah.
then you can
I see
never
what
get
you're
in.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's a split key, like in the Range Rover, you can split the key up.
I'm
and,
sure there's a function like
and
that.
there's a little thing, and you put it underneath the door, and it unlocks.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a function like that. It's got 2 fuel doors or whatever, so it's like on either side they're mirrored. One's the electric charger, one's the normal fuel cap.
Yeah. Okay.
So like if you were like trying to figure out which side it was on and you were outside of the car for some reason,
It'd be hard to tell.
yeah, you wouldn't be able to tell.
Okay.
So it's got this new Ferrari interior which they've rolled out across 2 cars now, which is this one, and there's a car called Aroma, which came out recently as well, which is more like in the California spec range.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And basically everything's screens.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure if you've seen this yet, but this car has, I'm just thinking, yeah, this car has pretty much no knobs or dials at all anywhere.
Yeah.
Which is really, really strange. So just a few things to point out. Like even the start-stop button, for example, it's on the bottom of the steering wheel, and it's not a button. It's just a small screen with start-stop that lights up, and you press it like a touch screen.
I don't know if I like that. Yeah.
And in the Roma, I'm not sure if it's a function that you can add into here, like a setting, but in the Roma, the way that you start it is you swipe it kind of like an old iPhone.
Ah.
You know how in an old iPhone you kind of swipe it like that?
Yeah.
Which is, I'm not saying I condone this, but it's just how it is.
Yeah.
It's got a massive gauge cluster, which is fairly common nowadays.
Yeah.
Which is all just one big screen, obviously. And then the drive mode dial, which is usually just to the right, like a little red dial, you can change the drive mode.
Yeah.
like the actual dial. Oh, sorry, like the figures behind it showing what mode you're in is also looks like a screen. So
Okay.
at this point, the whole steering wheel just looks like a big screen. Like it's a little hard to describe, but we'll get a photo of it.
Yeah.
So when you put it in hybrid mode, it actually engages the engine when it's required. So I was watching a video of this guy driving it.
Yeah.
And he's driving down the street, and when he's kind of like really light on the accelerator, the car goes completely quiet.
Oh, okay.
And then as soon as he starts to accelerate, I don't know how it flawlessly does it. I guess it's kind of like those. I guess it's kind of like the cars where you like start off at the lights nowadays and they start up straight away.
Yeah.
It then engages and you can hear the engine start to burble in the background.
Oh, that's cool.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Obviously good fuel economy.
Do you know if it's a Pininfarina or a Bertone?
What?
Or do you know if it's a Pininfarina or
What does that
a
first
Bertone?
word mean?
Well, that's the design house that does.
Oh.
So there's two design houses that make Ferraris.
Right.
One of them's Pininfarina and one of them's Bertone. They're
Don't know.
two Italian design
Right.
things that do all the bodies for Ferraris
Right, okay.
and Aston Martins.
So they're
and
always
stuff.
one or the other.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't know.
Ah, there you go.
It's a good question. It's got regenerative brakings, climate control systems, all the screens. So it's like this little tiny screen with buttons on it that you have to like swipe and press, and it's just very strange. It's got a trackpad on the steering wheel, which like allows you to like scroll through different settings on the main screen.
Oh yeah.
It's got like a View Max button. It just says View Max. And you press that, and then the whole screen becomes like a navigation screen. And you press it again, and it just becomes like cool racing dials.
Yeah.
And then you press it again, it goes back to this normal multi-mode with everything on it, because everything's on there. The only way you can see the climate control like setting is on that screen in front of the driver.
Okay.
There's a tiny little indicator like on the other screen, but on the little dial screen where you actually change the setting of the climate control, it doesn't say what temperature it is. It's very strange.
Yeah. Ferrari do some weird things though.
Yeah. So there's a like up here, up on the center of the ceiling, is the unlock and lock functions for the doors.
Yep.
Again, it's just a screen with like screen press buttons.
Yeah.
And then on the driver's door, there's a screen under the driver's side vent, and it's a touch screen, and it has all the controls for the mirrors and to turn the lights on and off and stuff like that as well. And it's also worth noting that this the car has no like steering column stocks.
Okay.
So like the blinkers and the lights and everything, they're all on the steering wheel.
All right. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, lots of screens. The radio is just a screen. It's just a tiny little slim screen. It looks really strange. The gear selector is really interesting. The gear selector mimics like an old school gate shifter. Like imagine like
Oh yeah.
the chrome.
Yeah.
You know, and you can see every little gear. It looks like that. It's like a mini version, and it's got these little buttons that you press back and forth to go to different gears.
Oh, okay.
So it's trying to I think it's trying to combine a bit of retro old school with hyper modern
Yeah.
interior vibe. Storage inside's not very good.
Yep.
So it's got a single cup holder in the middle
Yeah.
and like a little bit of net storage and like a little center console. That's it. That's about it.
You know what else is bad at storage? My car.
Yes. It's probably, yeah.
Getting all this gear in my car and then.
It's very true because I rode my motorbike.
Yeah.
And so it's got like leather and Alcantara bucket seats, which is kind of nice.
Yep.
You can get this option called the, hang on, let me have a go here.
Yeah.
The Assetto Ferrano option.
Yeah.
And this option, you get like a special door sill display that says that phrase.
Yeah.
And it reduces the weight by 30 kilos.
Okay.
You get carbon fiber wheels, which is probably where they lose the weight.
Yeah.
You get better racing suspension, so different suspension, and you get a carbon fiber spoiler.
Okay.
And then one other design element on the outside of the car is the taillights are these kind of almost circular, two on either side. And it's like a throwback to the old Ferraris that used to have just the double circle taillights.
Yeah.
They're trying to, again, throw back to something more retro, whereas the rest of the car looks really, really hyper modern.
Yeah.
It's got like this double exhaust that comes out the top of the middle of the rear, which is cool, big diffuser.
Yeah.
It's got like a plaque. So if you open the front trunk, it's got a plaque and it shows the optional extras that have been added onto that car.
Oh, okay.
Which is a kind of cool feature.
Yeah.
Good to know if you're ever buying one second hand.
You find these crazy details. It's great. It's like who knows about that? Like even someone who owned one probably doesn't know that.
So one interesting feature is it has a racing seat lifter.
Oh yeah.
which is really just power seats, but that's what they call it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's a really cool car. It's really expensive. Like, as I said, it's probably $1 million at least
Yeah.
in Australia.
To get
with-
it, yeah,
with
to
all
get
your
it through all
costs.
the luxury tax and whatever.
At that point, you'd probably buy something else. But one source that I was looking at was a guy named David Lee, Ferrari collector or something.
Yep.
It's this guy, I think, in California, and I think he virtually owns every model of Ferrari.
Wow.
Yeah,
That'd be
like,
cool.
Really, really crazy.
Yeah.
And so he has this car. So it makes a lot of sense for someone like him, but I don't understand why you'd just buy this Ferrari over like something more collectible or...
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, I mean, it's got a good performance, but yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting because their market, obviously, well, not always, but their market are like sold out Ferrari owners, some of which might be fairly old,
Yeah.
aren't going to love the touch screens, I don't think.
That's true. Yeah, that's interesting.
So, we'll
yeah,
see.
it's interesting that you say that, like, that it's not a collectible thing because
Yeah.
they're only going to make. I mean, non-collectible probably means they make 500 though.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's however many are ordered, which
yeah,
being so expensive
Yeah.
could still be not many, yeah.
yeah. So it literally could be 1,000 or something.
Yeah, it's true.
And then it's still compared to the one-off that they did, which was 200
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
it's like,
similar.
oh, it's still kind of rare. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
It's true. So yeah, that's that. I wouldn't buy it, but it's cool.
good stuff.
So I was thinking...
Transition sound.
Thank you. So